A very good afternoon to all of you all, and we are on the verge of completion of the second chapter as well. So the first chapter was the living world that we have completed, and this is the second chapter. We are almost done. A part of it is remaining, which we'll be doing it today. So the second chapter was cell, the unit of life, and we have seen the different organelles, how they are going to be present in every cell, every living cell, and what is their individual contribution, and what are their functional roles. So till now we have completed majority of the organelles, as well as we have seen the prokaryotic cells, right? Now we're going to talk about something, you know, associated with the animal cells, especially something called as the centrioles and the centrosomes. So I had told you in the last class that today we'll be completing this particular chapter, and definitely I'll, like have a complete revision also of whatever we have done. Yeah, my dear. Yeah, I'll give. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll give my number right now only because I say I'll give you later on, and then I forget. So you want my number? I'll take this. Take this. I'm putting it in the chat box. This is my WhatsApp number. Okay. So it's 98209 68260. It's my WhatsApp number. So you can definitely, yes, yes, beta, yes, beta. Welcome. Huh. Yeah. What's your doubt? Bound ribosomes help in producing proteinaceous substances that are transported out of the cell through the vesicles. Yes, beta. And these vesicles will reach the Golgi body where it will get modified. And then from the Golgi bodies also, their secretions will be sent into the cytoplasm in the form of small vesicles itself. Right? So don't worry, I'll be revising the entire content very quickly one more time, so that you will get connected to all the topics, and I've already given this PPT to you all. So this presentation is there with you all in your WhatsApp boxes. So any doubts, any difficulties, you are free to ask me anytime. Right? Okay. You you will you will get it. Uh, Vidi, just get connected with. Uh, okay, those who have not got the PPT now, yeah, those who have not got the PPT now, please get connected to your respective coordinators, whoever have called you now. You just get in touch with them. They'll definitely help you out with that. Okay. So whoever has uh, approached you or who is coordinating with you all, the one who is sending you all the timetable and something now, you can surely contact them. You will get it. Okay. Yeah. Fine. So here, let us go ahead and start with the centrosome part. Yes. So here is the centrosome. Right. So we are here with the centrosomes. So centrosomes are present in animal cells and cells of lower plants. Now, as we know that centrosomes were specifically associated with what? Specifically associated with the animal cell. Because what is a centrosome, If I tell you what is a centrosome, you will come to it. So centrosome C is an organelle usually containing cylindrical structures called as centrioles. So in the cell, there will be like this way, perpendicular structures. And these perpendicular structures will be called as centrioles. And a pair of centrioles together will be called as a centrosome. So what's a centrosome, beta? Centrosome is going to be nothing but, yeah, very right, beta. Yes, Dhruv, you're right, my dear. So it's going to help in the cell division, right? So it's going to be like this way, perpendicular to each other. So this is one centriole, this is another centriole. And these two centrioles together will be called as your centrosome. Fine. See, they are surrounded by amorphous pericentriolar material. So these centrioles also do not have any cell membrane over it. कोई cell membrane नहीं है उनके ऊपर कोई covering नहीं है. They are going to have something called as I'll come to it, of course. The diagram I'll show you. It's called as macules, and these are going to be your precentriolar material, amorphous substance which it will be surrounded with. Okay, तो diagram देखने के बाद बहुत clear हो जाएगा, but still both the centrioles in a centrosome lie perpendicular to each other, in which each has an organization like a cartwheel. तो कार्टव्हील कैसे होता है ना, तो एग्जैक्टली एक कार्टव्हील के जैसा इसका शेप बनता है. किसका बेटा, किसका, each centriole का. So this centriole is one cartwheel, this centriole is another cartwheel, and these two together will be forming your centrosome. Is it fine? Right? So when I take a cross section, that is transverse section or TS. So if I take a TS of one centriole, I'll see a cartwheel-like structure. Similarly, this is going to be another. I take a cross section, I see a cartwheel-like structure. Okay. See, for example, now they are tubes. They are, tubular structures. And if I take a cross section, means what? There are two pencils. Okay. There are two pencils kept perpendicular to each other. If I cut this and if I cut this, internally inside a pencil, what do you see? You see a lead in between, ना? Center में एक lead का वो एक रहता है जो एक गोला दिखता है आपको, और ऊपर से wood का गोला दिखता है. करेक्ट. वैसे जब मैं ये सेंट्रियोल का क्रॉस सेक्शन लेती हूँ ना, तो आई विल सी समथिंग लाइक अ कार्टव्हील स्ट्रक्चर. ओके, got it till here? So what is that exact structure, or what is that exactly the cartwheel structure that we have to look into the details. Now see here, this is the cartwheel structure beta. So this is the centriole, and it is made up of 9 evenly spaced peripheral fibrils of tubulin. If you remember in the last class, we have done cilia and flagella, right? And cilia and flagella were doublets. There were 9 peripheral doublets. But centriole is a 9 peripheral triplet. तो ये देखो, ये 3-3 की जोड़ी है ना, ए बी सी ए बी सी ए बी सी, ऐसे उसको है ना हम लोग नेमिंग करते हैं. A towards the inner side and C towards the outer side. So this is how, all A's will be at the inner side, B's उसके ऊपर और C सबसे बाहर. So it's going to be a triplet of what? Tubulin protein. That is going to be your microtubule. And if you recollect class, can anyone tell me one microtubule is made up of how many protofilaments, prototubules? How many? Very good, very good, very good. Yes, 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 yes. Risha correct. Zui correct. Vaishnavi correct. Come on, others, please try to answer this. How many prototubules will constitute one microtubule, my dear? थोड़ा सा याद करने की कोशिश करो, please. Whatever answer till now you have given, it's 9 plus 2 array, agreed, my dear. But one particular microtubule is made up of how many prototubules? You remember alpha tubulin and beta tubulin. So how many together will make up? How many were there? How many alpha tubulin, beta tubulin ka assembly will be there? Very correct. Yes, Vidhi, you're right. You're right. You're right. No, it's not 9. It's not 9 are like this way in one circle. I'm asking about one microtubule. Very good. Very good. Medansh correct. Diya correct. 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 Yeah, 9 pairs. But one of that microtubule will be made up of how many prototubules I'm asking, or protofilaments as we know. Majority of you all have given me the right answer, beta. It is 13 protofilaments. You remember I told you all, I'll give you 9 straws, 13 straws. I'll tell you all to make a mat, correct? And then I'll tell you all to join the first and the 13th one to form a cylinder. That will be your one microtubule. You remember this? Yes. So exactly, beta. That is what I'm asking. Now here there are 3 or triplet of microtubules. Huh. Yeah. So one centrosome contains, no, my dear. One centrosome is a pair of centrioles perpendicular to each other. That is what I said now just now, that there are 2 centrioles in a perpendicular position present inside one centrosome. Right? Got it? And now I'm talking about the dimensions and the structure of वन सेंट्रियोल. सो वन सेंट्रियोल ऐसे दिखेगा क्रॉस सेक्शन में. तो हमारी कुकुम्बर आप खाते हो, काकड़ी खाते हो? हाँ, सैंडविच में जो काकड़ी डाली जाती है वो कैसे करते हैं हम लोग? हाउ डू वी स्लाइस इट? डू वी स्लाइस इट लॉन्जिट्यूडनली और डू वी स्लाइस इट ट्रांसवर्सली? कैसे कटिंग होता है अपना? Exactly, very correct. Exactly. So when we cut it transversely ना बेटा, you will get a disc ना, then you will see वो कैसे दिखता है circle. वैसे ही this is like a cucumber. This centriole looks like a cucumber. Okay. And this cucumber को जब हम लोग cut करेंगे ना transversely, तो हमें internally ये ऐसे दिखेगा. For this now, understood that what view are we looking at for this particular centriole? Now see, one more time I'm repeating, beta. See, this is one circle. Can you see this one circle? This one circle will be called as one microtubule, another microtubule, one more microtubule. So there is a triplet of microtubules. How many triplets are there? So there are 9 triplets which are going to be surrounded. Correct? Yes, Palak. Right, beta. So these are 9 triplets, right? Now, this single microtubule, this single microtubule is made up of 13 prototubules or protofilaments, that is alpha beta alpha beta alpha beta alternating. ये एक है. ऐसे 13 13 13 13 13 13 समझ में आ गया? हाँ हाँ. What's your doubt, beta? Is the number of protofilaments same or less? Same. It's same in A also, in B also, in C also. That will remain the same. That will remain the same. There is no change in that. So 13 13 13 13 13 13. समझ में आ गया? Got this? Anyone having any difficulty in understanding this, my dears? Anyone having any difficulty? So can you all tell me? 13 threes are 39. Agreed? Huh. This is the transaction of centriole. That is what I said, my dear. This is the transaction of centriole, one single, not that two together. एक को मैंने cut किया है. I've just cut one. So if I keep two cucumbers at a perpendicular, position, I'm taking the cross section of only one cucumber and I'm showing you. Okay, na? Got it, na? Yeah. So, my dears, what is it now? See, there was this question that was asked in your AIMS exam. Now, since your AIMS exam has been abolished and admissions to AIMS has also come under NEET only, so there is a possibility that they may ask you questions, not all, but at least few at par with AIMS level. So, we should know this. So, I'm telling you, this was a question of AIMS that was asked earlier, that one triplet is made up of how many protofilaments in a centriole? Can anyone tell me? One triplet is made up of, very good, Zui. Very nice. Yes. Come on. Very nice. All of you all are right. Yes, Vidhi right, Dia right, Harisha right. Yes. You all are right. So here 39 protofilaments will be there in one triplet. And how many? Now look at my question. How many microtubules, how many protofilaments would be present in a centriole? In a centriole. Can anyone tell me? Very nice. Yes, Palak. Very nice, beta. Yes, Vaishnavi. So it's going to be 351. Now, my second question. अच्छा, जिनको मैं आगे जा रही हूँ assuming कि तुम्हें समझ में आ रहा है, नहीं आ रहा है तो पूछो. ये 39 है, so 39 into 9. ऐसे हमने कैलकुलेशन किया, राइट? 39 कैसे आया बेटा? ये एक सर्कल में 13 प्रोटोफिलामेंट्स है, so 13 plus 13 plus 13 is equal to 39, and like this way there are 9, so 13 into 39 into 9, that gives us 351. Okay, my second question, that is, how many protofilaments would be present in a flagella or cilia? In a flagella or cilia, how would you do it? 26, my dear. 26 will be in one doublet. Like that way there are 9 doublets at the periphery and 2 singlets at the center. Very nice. Yes, my dear. Yes, Siddhika, you are right. You are right, by बिल्कुल सही. Yes, Siddhika, Vaishnavi, Zui, you all are right. So there is 9 plus 2 arrangement, na beta? Correct, na? तो 2 सिंगलेट्स हम लोग को कंसिडर करना है और बाहर के 9 है, मतलब टोटल हमारे पास कितने हैं? 18 + 2 20 है, करेक्ट? 18 + 2 20 है। अब सोचो, अब आपके आंसर्स देखो कितने आने चाहिए। Yeah, so you all were not considering the center वाले 2, है ना? तो इस टाइप के क्वेश्चंस आते हैं in your examinations to complicate the subject. But if you know the basic very nicely na, then happen what may, you will never go wrong, my dears. You will never go wrong. Did you all get it? Understood this? Correct? Any difficulty in understanding this particular content? Huh. So this is the way the questions are going to be framed. Now, if you look at this particular structure, so there is a triplet. There is a triplet of microtubules, correct? Now, each of the peripheral fibril is a triplet. The adjacent triplets are also linked. You can see these linked red color ke, uh, you know, connectors in between. These are the linkers. These are again proteins, huh? Same proteins here. The central part of the centriole is also proteinaceous and called as a hub. Now, at this center, there is no microtubule present. There is no microtubule present. Okay, this is one microtubule, second microtubule, third microtubule. But here there is no microtubule. So at the center it is 0. So this arrangement is called as 9 plus 0. While cilia flagella was 9 plus 2. This is going to be 9 plus 0. Okay, why 0? Because at the center there is no microtubule. Then what is this? ये जो red color का flower के जैसा circle दिखाई दे रहा है, what is this? So this is going to be a proteinaceous amorphous substance. It is not an organized microtubular structure. तो ये जो central portion है ना बेटा, जो protein से बना है, it is not void, it is not a cavity. एम्प्टी स्पेस नहीं है वो, तो वो जो स्पेस है जो ऑक्यूपाइड है विथ अ डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ प्रोटीन, दैट इज गोइंग टू बी कॉल्ड एज अ हब. उसको हम क्या कहते हैं? उसको हम हब कहते हैं. तो सी, द सेंट्रल पार्ट ऑफ द सेंट्रियोल इज आल्सो प्रोटीनेशियस, कॉल्ड एज द हब, which is connected with the tubules of the peripheral triplets by radial spokes made up of proteins. So only proteins ही है. Microtubules are what? Alpha, beta, tubulin proteins. Correct? This is going to be your dynein proteins, right? ये जो है, ये भी proteins ही है. Radial spokes are also made up of proteins, and the central core is also made up of proteins. Now all these are of various different proteins. Okay, these all are going to be of different various proteins. तो ये प्रोटीन बनाने के लिए, to make this protein, don't you think the cell has to undergo anabolism to make these different proteins? So when will it only be able to make these different proteins? When it can undergo anabolism? Only when it has got a pool of amino acids. इसलिए our diet should have what? Good amount of protein. Because if proteins हम लोग ज़्यादा अच्छे अमाउंट में नहीं खाते हैं, then ये सारी चीज़ें सेल को बनाने के लिए बहुत तकलीफ हो जाएगी. From where will it get the raw material to make all these things? Right? So these are very important organelles, right? So see, this is going to be your hub. These are going to be your radial spokes. A, B, C are going to be your microtubules के triplets. Correct? See, this is the central hub that is they are showing over here. Central hub. Right? Now see, the centrioles form the basal body of cilia or flagella. Basal body means from the place where cilia and flagella would originate. That is going to be called as the basal body. ठीक है, जैसे कि आपका टिफिन होता है ना, टिफिन में एक बेस होता है और एक उसका लिड होता है, राइट? तो लिड वाला पोर्शन, आई डोंट नो आपने ये देखे हैं, लाइक जब छोटे थे, या मे बी you might have seen some kids in your society who are like going to nursery and all, ऐसे छोटे बच्चे, उनकी वाटर बॉटल्स होती है. हैव यू ऑल सीन दैट वाटर बॉटल्स व्हिच आर गोइंग टू बी लाइक प्लास्टिक के बॉटल्स नॉर्मल, एंड उनका जो लिड होता है ना, इट इज ऑफ वेरियस कार्टून्स के शेप, या फिर वो रैबिट का एक ऐसा फेस आता है ऊपर. आपने देखे हैं ऐसे वाले? हाँ या ना? Have you all seen this type of water bottles seen in the market or something? Yes. हाँ. Yeah, yeah, it is going to be the basal body which is going to be present in is going to be this centriole. स्ट्रॉ निकल आता है, yes, उसमें एक straw होती है, yes, yes, correct. I know. I mean, when you were kids, now probably you would have definitely used it, but now at least you know it what it is. So it's something like that way. So what is going to happen? See, what is going to happen? See, this centriole is going to be present on like that bottle. वो जो अपनी बॉटल है ना पानी की बॉटल एंड उसके ऊपर का जो ढक्कन है ना लिड है ना वो अलग अलग शेप्स का जैसे मैं बोल रही हूँ दैट इज गोइंग टू बी योर सीलिया फ्लैजिला on it. So cilia flagella is going to be formed over it. Okay. Yes, my dear, you're perfectly right, Vaishnavi. During the cell division, the centriole duplication takes place. Very correct. Very correct. Right. So now what happens, beta? What happens now? These centrioles are going to form the base for the formation of the cilia and flagella. So this 9 plus 0 arrangement is going to help in the formation of 9 plus 2 arrangement. Did you understand this? Did you understand this? See, for example, there has to be some base, some what we say orientation on which something can be built up. So that cilia and flagella has to build up. It has to come out of the cell. Correct? It has to come out of the cell. Then from which portion will it come out? So it is going to be originating. It is going to be propelling outside from this particular base, which is called as the basal body. So the centrioles, they form the basal body of the cilia or flagella, and the spindle fibers that give rise to spindle apparatus during cell division in animal cells. So in animal cells, you will always find these centrioles. Did you all understand how to imagine this? Can you imagine this now? How does it look like? So centrioles are going to be present within the cytoplasm of the cell, which is going to be, perpendicular to each other. Each centriole is going to have a triplet, and those triplets will be arranged in 9 at the periphery, nothing at the center. From this will originate the 9 plus 2 cilia and flagella ka assembly, which will come out, propel outwards, and therefore we call the centrioles as the basal bodies. Is it okay? So when I'll teach you all about the cell cycle, cell division chapter, that time it will be very easy to you all if you have understood this particular point. So how the mitotic spindle is going to develop and what beta? Cilia flagella only present in animal cells? Yes, my dear. They are present in only animal cells. Okay. And it's in protists who are plant-like protists. So the next chapter that I'm going to start with now, in that you will come to know about certain plants also who are plant-like, and even they have this eukaryotic flagella. Now look at the complexity of eukaryotic flagella. You remember prokaryotic flagella? It was made up of what? Do you recollect? Prokaryotic flagella was made up of a protein called as flagellin. It had only 3 parts. What were the 3 parts? Base, है ना? You remember? Base, hook and filament. कितना सिंपल था वो. उसको एक बेस था, फिर उसको एक हुक था और वो फिलामेंट था. Yes, correct. Here na, here na, in eukaryotic flagella, it's a bit complex. First, it is not made up of flagellin, it is made up of tubulin, right? And it is a triplet 9 peripherals. Nothing at the center. Center पे होता है hub, which is proteinaceous. It is not a cavity. And next, what is it, beta? What is one more thing? It forms the basal body for the emergence of the cilia and flagella. Okay. Plants did not move. No, they don't have. They are going to be like their way of movement is a bit different. They are going to take the help of certain this things. You know, agents, I would say. But the spermatozoa of certain plants are going to be flagellated. Huh? So you will be coming across certain spermatozoas of the plants which are going to be flagellated. Correct? So that is also there. Their spermatozoa could be flagellated. But in animal, your animal cells also can be flagellated, like trypanosoma. Trypanosoma is a flagellated protozoan. It's a animal. and it's flagellated. Okay. Is there any reason for the peculiar arrangement in cilia and flagella and centriole? Yes, my dear. The centriole is going to be helping in providing support as spindle fibers during cell division. So they need to be really very strong from the peripheral area. Otherwise, the cell would collapse. And yeah. And this particular one, the cilia and flagella, they have to be, flexibly rigid because they have to move. So their arrangement has to be from the peripheral sides. Also, it has to be good enough, but no need of a triplet. Doublet is more than enough. But the axonal core, that core also needs to be, strong enough because it needs to help in movement, locomotion. So a specific this type of a structure is going to be present. I'll have to check, my dear Krishna. I need to check, my dear. Okay, I'm not sure about it because maybe yes, maybe no. I'm not aware of it. So if I misguide you, that's not right now. If I'm not sure if there's going to be any test, and if I say हाँ test है, तो नहीं हुआ तो भी पकड़ोगे. मैं बोलूंगी test नहीं और अगर हुआ तो भी मुझे पकड़ोगे. So I'm not sure. If I'm not sure na, I don't give wrong guidance. I'll say I need to check because I cannot say anything wrong. Okay. And it's okay. I mean, if I don't know, I'll definitely say I don't know. I'll check and I'll let you know. So टेस्ट का मुझे सच में पता नहीं है बेटा संडे को टेस्ट है या नहीं है. अगर है तो आपको इन्फॉर्म किया जाएगा. नहीं है तो नहीं इन्फॉर्म किया जाएगा. But I'm not aware. I'll confirm and I'll let you know if you want. Okay. हाँ. नो बेटा द टेस्ट शेड्यूल्स है ना हम लोग है ना विच टेस्ट टू बी कंडक्टेड ना वी जस्ट गिव इट कि these tests are to be conducted. We are completing this particular chapter or we have completed this particular chapter. Then the test schedule and everything will be decided eventually later on. Generally, Atis sir will be there to confirm on the tests. So you will come to know. You will come to know. Okay. I know you're talking about bio, my dear, but still, okay, papers are ready from my side. I've given all the papers. Okay, तो papers सारे मैं दे देती हूँ, लेकिन test schedule जो है ना आपको बताया जाएगा. Don't worry. Well, the linkers in both. What are you asking, my dear? I missed your chat. I'll come to it. The linkers in both are made up of Nexin. Yes, Nexin. They are made up of Nexin. Correct. Okay, so once you give the test and once you get your marks, I'll get to know your marks. मुझे वो पूरा पीडीएफ मेल पे आ जाता है कि किसने कैसे परफॉर्म किया है. वो मुझे पूरे डिटेल्स मिल जाते हैं कि कौन कितना जेन्युइनली पढ़ रहा है. You only need to do you need to do NCERT of course. Without NCERT test देना मतलब of course my slides also it's going to be a mixture. It's going to be a mixture. So NCERT तो करना ही है बेटा. You have to do the NCERT both and the slides which I have sent you. Okay, it will be a mixture of both. अभी तक तो एक ही चैप्टर अपना हो गया है, that is the living world. This chapter is yet to go ahead, but the tests are going to be splitted up. They'll be splitted up into small subtopics. So accordingly, you will be informed. You'll be informed. Okay. Of course, eventually at the end of it, you will be giving the whole test also of the entire chapter. But small subunit वाले question papers भी बने हुए हैं, है ना? तो आपको बताएंगे. What will happen now because of that now you will come to know that in which particular subtopic you are weak at or which subtopic you need to focus more or if there is any specific difficulty or doubt in that subtopic so you will come to know. So then you can discuss with me accordingly. So subtopic wise भी बनाया गया है because these chapters are very long now. नहीं first chapter तो full text because first chapter छोटा ही है. Living world is very small and easy chapter. बट उसके क्वेश्चंस बहुत मस्त है. मतलब दे आर नॉट डिफिकल्ट बट they need to be worked on. The chapter seems to be very simple. This is the beauty of your NEET beta. What happens in NEET is the chapters which you feel are very easy na, most difficult questions will be asked from those chapters. And the chapters which you really find कि oh my god there is a lot of conceptual thinking over here, उसमें से सब easy question आते हैं. तो वो बैलेंस आउट हो जाता है. तो है ना बहुत गंदी मिस्टेक करते हैं बच्चे लोग कि दे निग्लेक्ट दी इजियर चैप्टर्स. हाँ ये तो इजी है ये तो आ जाएगा. देन दे फाइंड आउट ट्रिकी क्वेश्चंस ऑन दैट. बट डोंट वरी You will be exposed to all the tricky questions of every chapter. You did not worry about, oh my god, ये ऐसा मैं कभी सोचा ही नहीं था. हाँ, पहली बार जब तुम लोग टेस्ट दोगे ना, you may feel like that way. But when you will repeatedly give the test and when you will be giving your final test, believe me, you would be knowing each and every question also. Believe me. Like every year, this is a common thing that happens with me. My students who give NEET ना, after the NEET paper ना, they call me up and they ask, मैम आपने ही पेपर सेट किया था ना? Miss, it was you only who had set the paper ना. अरे who am I to set the paper बाबा? I am no one to set the paper. But इतनी प्रैक्टिस हो जाती है ना, क्वेश्चंस इतने बायो के पेपर्स तुम लोग सॉल्व करोगे ना बेटा, कि देयर विल बी अ डे व्हेन यू विल लर्न द क्वेश्चंस ओनली. आंसर्स ढूंढने का सवाल ही नहीं आएगा, बिकॉज आपको क्वेश्चंस ही याद हो जाएंगे. It is a fact. And this is not for this year. For the last 20 years, this is happening. Like last year का जो NEET paper था, out of the 90 MCQs that were asked for bio, out of the 90 MCQs, each and every MCQ was solved in our classes. Each and every MCQ, each and every, ऐसा एक भी question नहीं था which I had not given to my students in one of the exams. एक ना एक किसी ना किसी टेस्ट में वो पूछा गया ही है, ऐसा वाला पेपर था लास्ट ईयर का. So it was like, even I'll give all the questions to you all. Don't worry about it. Okay. Yeah. Exactly. You don't have to worry. You will get all the questions, whatever questions have been asked now till today, and whatever are expected to be asked now, you will be given everything. Huh? But there is only one thing, my dears. You have to genuinely attempt the test. If you don't give the test now, you're going to be at a very big loss, my dear. Very big loss. So starting से ही ना ये आदत रखो. तुम्हारा प्रेपरेशन हुआ है या नहीं हुआ है ना? कभी कभी डर लगता है कि मेरा इतना प्रेपरेशन अच्छा नहीं हुआ है, आई विल नॉट अटेम्प्ट दिस टाइम. डोंट डू लाइक दैट वे. Even if whatever you have prepared now, attempt that question, attempt that test. That is only going to help you all out. So imagine, like, and there was, I remember there were two students. There were two students who were not from master classes, and they had joined me late, and they were repeaters. In fact, they were repeaters, and they were, like, हमें सब आता है, बायो तो हमें रिपीट के लिए नहीं चाहिए, हमें सब आता है करके, वो वाला एक फीलिंग था उनका. एंड एट द एंड ना, लाइक 1 month जब बच गया था ना, दे रियलाइज कि उनका बायो कुछ नहीं है. They have not understood anything. So then they used to, like, just sit with me for their difficulties. And you won't believe, last एक दिन पहले, मतलब एग्जाम के एक दिन पहले, मैंने उनको पेपर दिया था to solve. And I don't know, I had just randomly marked few questions and I had given them some 100 questions. And from that paper, whatever was their difficulty, I resolved those difficulty. And you won't believe, almost 30 to 35 questions जो उनके wrong गए थे ना उस पेपर में, वही क्वेश्चन नेक्स्ट डे उनके नीट एग्जाम में आए थे. And I had just in the evening at 6 o'clock, I had rectified their doubts, I had clarified their doubts, and next day morning they were to go for their test. And those 32 questions which they had made a blunder were asked again same way, same questions in the exam. So, like, we have to just keep on practicing with the papers. And whatever you're going wrong, I don't mind you all going wrong. I really don't mind you all going wrong, but I just don't want you all to go wrong again with the same question. That's my only concern. पहली बार wrong गए तो गए, it's okay. जहाँ आप mistake करोगे ना, आप next time उधर कभी भी mistake नहीं करना है. That is the only thing that you have to practice. And when you will come to know if you're going right or you're going wrong, only if you attempt. So I want all of you all to attempt every test which is going to be conducted, my dears. Please don't bunk any test. You're going to be at a loss. Happen what may, give the test. Give the test. And I'm there to solve your doubts and queries. I'm not going to run away anywhere. हाँ, तो कितने भी डिफिकल्टी है, कितनी भी डाउट है ना, बिंदास मुझसे डिस्कस कर लेना. ओके, डोंट वरी अबाउट योर प्रोग्रेस एंड योर क्वेश्चंस. हाँ. Yes. That's what you will be told, you will be informed. Okay. Well, so as of now, we'll focus on centriole. See, so it's going to be having the cilia flagella, which is going to be having the basal body, which is going to be your centrioles. Okay. They also give rise to spindle apparatus during cell division in animal cells. So this diagram comes for you all to draw You have to draw this diagram in your examinations. Which question have you asked? My phone is not with me. I don't keep my phone near me. When you had asked, my dear? When had you asked? I generally don't keep my phone near me. I'll check. See, there are so many messages that come na. ऊपर नीचे हो जाता है. I'll see. Okay. You have sent it to me. Have you sent it to me personally, or they haven't given this diagram in the NCRT? They have given in the government textbook. Okay, so that it will be asked in your board exams. I mean, board means your college exams to draw it. Okay. Shred, I'll ensure that I'll check it out. I'll let you know. Okay, well, so that's all with your uh, centriole, centrosome, and your cilia flagella. Okay, then we come to the last organelle that is remaining. That is going to be the nucleus. Nucleus, the remote control of our cell, right? It's going to be called as the remote control. It's going to control all the activities of the functioning of the cell, right? So it's called as the remote control of our cell. So see, nucleus as a cell organelle was described by Robert Brown in the year 1831. Robert Hooke, Robert Brown, Aristotle, Leeuwenhoek, ये सारे नाम आपको याद रखने हैं. Okay, right? हाँ, enucleated also work in reproduction. Yes. They are not going to help in direct reproduction. They are going to be derived from the bone marrow, as in case of your RBCs, right? Yeah, my dear. Yes, Janvi, beta. We have to buy both NCRT also and State Board also, 2 textbooks. If you have sat for my orientation lecture, I have already told that these are the only 2 textbooks that you need to buy. 11th के अलग 2 बुक आते हैं, 12th के 2 अलग बुक आते हैं, है ना? तो आपको ऐसे टोटल 4 बुक्स खरीदने हैं. 11th NCRT, 12th NCRT, 11th स्टेट बोर्ड, 12th स्टेट बोर्ड. ठीक है, ऐसे टोटल अभी 4 नहीं, अभी you can order any like 11th standard ones, because we have started with 11th standard, but you can definitely keep 12th standard books ready with you all, because there are some chapters which in that connectivity order I may go ahead with the 12th wala part also. I'll tell you that this chapter is 11th standard chapter, yeah, this chapter is 12th standard chapter. I'll tell you beforehand, but still. Okay. So buy all the 4 books and keep it with you. 2 11th के NCRT and GTB, 2 12th के NCRT GTB. तो 4 टेक्स्ट बुक खरीद के रख दो आपके पास. ठीक है. Well, then let us come to nucleus. Yeah, would be the session of discussing how many NEET marks are required for. My dear, actually, this session I had already taken, but I guess some of you all have not attended this, na? Yeah. Yes. Sure. Uh, which you want me to send? Which image, my dear? Which image you want me to send? Which image you want me to send? You tell me, I'll send you the image. 11 textbook, I'll show you right now only. Before the lecture winds up, I'll show you 11th ka textbook also and NCRT ka textbook also. I'll show you the cover pages. Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Just give me that 11th and 12th, beta. 12th, probably NCRT won't be there. No, 12th NCRT would be there. This is 11th. Give me. So see, this is the 11th standard ka textbook, NCRT. Okay. This is 11th standard NCRT. So, all of you? Yes. And this is your 12th standard NCRT. 12th standard NCRT looks like this. You can't see, maybe because now, beta, I'll need to stop the sharing. Wait, I'll do it for you. I'll do it. Anugura, give that 11th standard one also. Blue book, 11th. See, this one. Now you all can see. Now, can you all see, my dears? Yes, yes. This is 11th standard NCRT textbook, the one which you need to buy. You can see a bug over here. ये देखो यहाँ पर एक bug है. ये याद रखना, right? Yeah. So this is your 11th standard NCRT, beta. Then this is your 11th standard GTB, government textbook. This is your 11th standard government textbook. 12th standard government textbook won't be there, my dear. It would be in another room probably. It's okay. We can show it next time. This is 11th standard textbook of government textbook. And this is going to be your 12th standard ka NCRT. Look at this. This is 12th standard NCRT. Okay? Got it? This is 12th standard NCRT. And 12th standard ka government textbook is not there in this room. Probably it is somewhere else. So next time I'll show you the 12th standard ka GTB. 12th standard ka GTB. Okay? Or I can share the 12th standard ka GTB 1 minute. Huh? I've got it in my soft copy. So I can share it with you all. Just give me a minute. Where is it? Where is it? Yes, I'll show you. I'll show you. I've got that also, but it's in the soft copy format. So I'll share that on the screen so you can see the front page of government textbook also. So in one lecture only, you will come to know about the front page. Yeah, see, I'll share this with you all. Where is it? See here. You can see this. This is our 12th standard GTB. Yeah, this one. Look at the front page. This is the front page. 12th standard. ओके अब कंफ्यूजन गया बेटा सबका 11th स्टैंडर्ड का कैसे दिखता है 12th स्टैंडर्ड का कौन सा लेना है क्लियर है ना ओके फाइन see now in one window only you can see the entire cover page got this well yes yes good if you have purchased both ना it's good my dear अच्छा किया दोनों लिया है तो अच्छी बात है तो ये ऐसे दिखते हैं आपके 11th के और 12th के 4 बुक्स बायो के हाँ आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट बायो okay so I guess now you will come to know ki what to buy okay fine so let's go ahead with 2018 edition है ना इसका I want new edition of government textbook बेटा don't buy the old edition of government textbook has been recently updated 2018 or 2019 I need to check but take the new version the new edition हाँ reference books for MCQ no need of buying them right now you will be provided with the notes and in the notes you will be having all reference books ke MCQs in your notes only so no need to your modules will have everything you need not buy any reference book for MCQ solving for bio you should buy only two books my dears for 11th standard and two books for 12th standard government textbook of 11th 12th standard and NCRT textbook of 11th and 12th standard that's it okay just the textbook nothing else don't bang your head with any publications as of now okay I am going to give you each and why see if you want to buy I'll give you a long list but the same questions I'm going to give you I'm going to provide you with all the questions still if you want to buy you tell me double पैसा खर्चा करने का है क्या तुम लोग को क्यों नो नीड टू बाय एनीथिंग फॉर बायो ओके बायो के लिए मैं आपको पूरा मतलब पूरा स्पून फीडिंग तुम्हें मिलने वाला है यू विल गेट ऑल द क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम माय एंड दे आर ऑलरेडी कंपाइल्ड सो अननेसेसरली डोंट वेस्ट आई एम देयर ओके डोंट वरी फाइन so finally we come to the nucleus let us talk about the nucleus now nucleus as a cell organelle was first described by Robert Brown in the year 1831. Later, the material of the nucleus stained by the basic dyes was given the name chromatin by Fleming. Now, those who know about mitosis and meiosis, there is a word called as Moore and Fleming. Farmer and Moore and Fleming. So he's the same one who is associated with your chromatin material. Okay. So what is chromatin? Chromatin is nothing but it is going to be your DNA only. Okay. Huh. Questions will be from textbook only, like boards in exam. No, my dear. These are going to be your MCQ questions, multiple choice questions. Okay. These are going to be your MCQ type questions in your modules because your competitive exams will be MCQ type, and your textbooks which you're going to buy now, which I told you just now, they will be having the board wale questions in them. So we'll be doing both. Okay. You have to learn dates. Yes, my dear, we have to learn dates. The questions asked in your board exams will be from the textbook only, and that will be only from your government textbook, and that too only 12th standard. Okay. And in your NEET examination or your competitive examinations like KVPY and all, which I have already guided you, that particular question paper will be based on your NCRT plus extra content. ठीक है. I'm just like planning when I can keep an orientation program for those who have not attended that. Okay, I'll just see. I'll just see whenever it's possible in your schedule and my schedule matching together. Na, I may keep like 45 minutes like interactive session for all these questions and whatever. Okay. Yeah, you all can again attend. I don't have a problem. If any one of you all can attend, your friends can attend, your parents can attend, whoever are having any difficulty with understanding of the NEET ka content and the boards ka content, I'll be giving a complete, full furnished, guidance on that. So you can ask your friends, you can ask your parents, you can ask anyone who are interested in attending. You all can share the link with them. So definitely, like I'll just have a word and we'll just decide that when we can keep this. Okay. I'll be guiding you with everything. Don't worry. Sure, you all can attend. So these doubts and difficulties which are there in your mind now, we can definitely take care of them. Okay. Yeah. Well, so normally there is only one nucleus per cell, but variations have been seen in number of nuclei, which are also going to be binucleate or multinucleate conditions can also be seen. So see, some mature cells even lack nucleus. Example, erythrocytes of many mammals and sieve tube cells of vascular plants. So in human beings also, we also are mammals only, right? So in human beings also, our red blood cells, erythrocytes, right? They lack a nucleus. But they are saying when they become mature, that means in the initial formation time, they are going to be present. And as the cell becomes older and older and older, the nucleus is going to get degenerated. Same way in plants, especially in angiosperms, that is the flowering plants, they are going to have sieve tubes. Okay. And these sieve tubes also will eventually lose their nucleus. So many times they give you this particular question. Select the odd one out among the following. Okay. So in that they'll give you these, for example, erythrocytes, sieve tubes, neurons, and something else. So here if you see, what is the common thing between all these three? What is the common thing between all these three? And what is the difference between these three? Sieve tubes, erythrocytes, neurons. What is common? Nothing is in common. There is something in common. They all are cells, of course. And my dear, they are not capable of division. They cannot undergo cell division. Okay, they cannot divide. Once they are formed forever, they are only that much in numbers. तो जो हमारे न्यूरॉन्स होते हैं ना, उनको हमें बहुत केयरफुली संभाल के रखना होता है. यस माय डियर अनिरुद्ध, बिल्कुल करेक्ट आंसर. दे कांट डिवाइड, right? So we have to actually, you know, conserve our neurons. हमने बोल दिया. Yeah. It is going to be when I'll teach you plant physiology. Na, that time you will come to know that why the nucleus should not be present and why does it not divide. You will come to know in that chapter of anatomy of flowering plants. I'm going to teach you all that also. Now, even in you and me, right? इसको हमें संभाल के रखना होता है. आपने देखा है, old people generally they tend to forget. Have you all seen? Why old Ray? Even I've started forgetting now. So वो एक धीरे धीरे कहते हैं ना, जैसे एज बढ़ती जाती है. हाँ, एग्जैक्टली. तो धीरे धीरे वो याददाश्त कम होती जाती है, समथिंग लाइक दैट वे. Yeah, but generally, yes, beta, yes, beta. Generally, na, old people have got the tendency to forget. They even sometimes forget if they have eaten their food or not. Have you all experienced any you know, anyone in your area or in your neighborhood or in your family like this way? Yeah, Alzheimer. Yes, my dears. So yeah, it's a common thing. It's a common thing. It's a degenerative type of disorder which is going to be seen in human beings, and you can't help it that time. There are no medicines available to treat them completely. Yes, my dear. I know, I know. Yeah, exactly. That is what happens. Like, you know, they take a bath and they forget if they have taken a bath, they again take a bath. दो दो तीन तीन चार चार पांच पांच बार नहाते हैं, उनको लगता है हमने नहाया ही नहीं है. Yeah, it sounds, yeah, I know, but it is so, I mean, you feel bad also about it. Yeah, he had a sharp mind and now 1 year he isn't able to, yes. There are no medicines, beta. There are no medicines. The reason is, you know what? The neurons cannot be replicated. No nerve cells can have, yes, exactly, yes, Vaishnavi. So that is the problem, that the remote control is gone. Once the remote control is gone, what is going to happen? It's very difficult, right? And the neurons or the neural cells or the nerve cells as we call them, जितने हमें फ्री गिफ्ट मिले हैं ना अपने पेरेंट्स से, उतने हमको बचा के रखने हैं भाई. जितने हमारे एम्ब्रियोनिक स्टेज में, व्हेन वी वर एम्ब्रियोज, व्हेन वी वर डेवलपिंग एज fetus in the womb of our mother, that time whatever neurons have been, you know, formed, we have to retain them. No, artificially also you cannot replicate them. Okay, so it becomes very difficult. It becomes very difficult. So see, there is one thing. हर एक चीज के लिए ना, ये मेडिसिन जो अपनी लाइन होती है ना बेटा, हर एक चीज के लिए है ना, कुछ ना कुछ वे आउट होता है. देयर इज सम और द अदर वे आउट. Okay, अरे even if we make them now, my dear, using the stem cells, how are you going to introduce them? Brain is going to be something which is a very complicated structure. It's one of the most beautiful, brain and heart, two very complex and most challenging type of structures to be studied, you know. बहुत मजा आता है वो पढ़ने के लिए, बहुत ज्यादा मजा आता है. So there's only one thing that we can do. What we can do is, you know, we have to take good care of our neurons. So how can we take care of your neurons? उनको हमेशा ऐसे ऐसे करते रहो क्या? बेटा मर मत जा, मरने का नहीं, जिंदा रहने का, ऐसा करने का. No, there is a way out, my dear. You know what? What is the way out? चलो आज वो भी बता देती हूँ. Not as a teacher, maybe. Yeah, not as a teacher, maybe. That's what I said. It may not be a part of our syllabus, what I'm going to tell you all right now, but as an advice, okay. Uh, that is, you know, like you can definitely take care of your neurons and you can keep them sharp and you can keep them active and maximally active even till the age of 100. छोटी सी एक छोटी सी चीज करनी है. क्या करना है पता है उसके लिए? एग्जैक्टली, एग्जैक्टली श्वेत, यू आर राइट. You're perfectly right. You know, our neurons are going to be surrounded by, our neurons are going to be surrounded by a group of cells which are going to be called as your myoglial cells. Okay, so they are going to be a glial cells का पूरा एक ग्रुप होता है. तो अगर ये न्यूरॉन है तो ये न्यूरॉन के आजू बाजू में है ना पूरे ये न्यूरोग्लायल सेल्स प्रेजेंट होते हैं. व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ दैट सेल्स? न्यूरोग्लायल सेल्स. In nervous system I'll be talking about it. Okay, now the neuroglial cells are there for nursing the neurons. नर्सिंग द न्यूरॉन्स मीन्स व्हाट, न्यूरॉन की पूरी देखभाल करने के लिए ये न्यूरोग्लायल सेल्स है, टू टेक केयर, राइट राइट। अब ये जो न्यूरोग्लायल सेल्स है ना बेटा, ये जो न्यूरोग्लायल सेल्स है ना, दे कंटिन्यूअसली फीड द न्यूरॉन विथ वेरी गुड फूड, देन द न्यूरॉन्स हेल्थ विल बी नॉर्मल। देखिए अगर आपने बैलेंस डाइट खाया तो आपकी हेल्थ अच्छी रहती है कि नहीं, हाँ या ना। So in the same way, when the neurons will be supplemented continuously with good nutrients, why will it lose its health? It will remain healthy, correct? So what is the function of the neuroglial cells? The glial cells का function है to nourish, to nurse the neuron. Now, if this is done continuously, yes, you are right, my dear Shwet, you're perfectly right. Your mama is right with that. So what we can do, we can't do anything directly to the neurons, but we know who is going to do something good with the neurons. Who is the one who is going to do good with the neurons? Who is the one who is going to take care of the neurons till the age of 100 also? The glial cells, right? These glial cells, these neuroglial cells have got a high capacity of cell division. The neuroglial cells have a high capacity of cell division, correct? So what can we do? The more it will divide, the more it is going to form, you know, a good covering over the neurons, and more it will supplement the neurons with the nutrients. So what is in our hands? In our hands we can definitely, exactly, very nice, very nice. So in our hands we can definitely ensure that the neuroglial cells का cell division continuously होता रहे। हम लोग कितने भी बुढ़े हो जाएंगे ना, फिर भी neuroglial cells को cell division से नहीं रोकना है। जब तक न्यूरोग्लायल सेल्स डिवाइड हो रहे हैं तब तक हमारे न्यूरॉन्स इंटैक्ट है, करेक्ट। तो न्यूरोग्लायल सेल्स को डिवाइड होने के लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा, क्या करना पड़ेगा? तो उनको डिवाइड कराने के लिए वी शुड हैव वॉलनट एंड आलमंड्स। इतना भर भर के नहीं, 2 almonds and 1 walnut every day in the morning. If you eat 2 almonds and 1 walnut every day in the morning, you are going to supplement your neuroglial cells for cell division. And the more will they undergo cell division, the more better they are going to be there for the neurons ka health. Wet almonds, yes, you have to soak the almonds and walnut overnight and eat them early in the morning or whenever you get up in the morning. अर्ली इन द मॉर्निंग बोलेगा तो कल 4 बजे का अलार्म लगाकर उठ जाओ, अगर बोलेगा मिस ने बोला है अर्ली इन द मॉर्निंग, ऐसे नहीं। व्हेनेवर यू ईट इट ना, व्हेनेवर यू आर गोइंग टू गेट अप ना, यू आर गोइंग टू ईट दैट 2 almonds and 1 walnut, 1 entire walnut, हाँ मतलब हाफ पीस ऐसे 2, तो 1 full walnut and 2 almonds। तो आज से ही अगर आप ये रात को भिगोकर कल से खाने को स्टार्ट करोगे ना, तो 2 साल है तुम्हारे हाथ में। आपने वो देखा है, वो एड आती है कि एग्जाम के टाइम पे ही आती है, वो अलग अलग ब्रांड के नाम से वो बेचते हैं, ये पिएंगे तो ये इंक्रीज हो जाएगा, क्या क्या कहते हैं उसको, इंटेलिजेंस पावर इंक्रीज हो जाएगा एंड ऑल। ऐसे कुछ नहीं होता है। यू आर ईटिंग इट ना, वेरी गुड, you have to continue this forever, okay? Yeah, they are good for skin, they are good for everything, but active, the more you give activity to your bones and muscles and everything na, the more you will be active, it will be remaining in an active state. Similarly, when you learn, when you come across more of learning something new, you activate your neurons, okay? No, it's better you soak it. Without soaking na, sometimes it is going to be it has got a high intrinsic heat in it, so sometimes है ना heat related problems हो सकते हैं, so it's always better you soak मतलब क्या, इतना बड़ा इसमें नहीं soak करना है रे, in a half glass of water you can soak it in the night and you can eat. Yes, Vish, you're right. या along with the almond का तो स्किन के साथ खाना है, वॉलनट का वो जो बड़ा वाला है वो तो निकाल के खाओगे ना, इंटरनल, दैट ब्रेन के जैसा जो दिखता है वो, right? But seriously, I am not joking. Seriously, I'm not joking. Okay, it will definitely help you a lot. Not only you, give, like, make this habit in your house, your siblings, your parents, whoever are there in your house now, make it a habit. You will never have a problem with the, any neurological problem will never erupt only. Yeah, it should be. Yeah, exactly. I have got a very huge family, like my joint family है मेरी. So I ensure that everyone in my house eats it. It's very good for everyone's health. Okay. Anyway, so देखो हम लोग कितना बड़बड़ करते रहे, तुम लोग इतना बड़बड़ करते हो, मुझे किधर से किधर लेके गए. हाँ. Oh my God, Shweta, I need to come to your house then. You come to my house. Even I've got the same number, and I'll come to your house. गुड गुड गुड. ओके, फाइन 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 बेटा. हाँ, तो मैं क्या बोल रही थी, तुम लोग कितनी बड़बड़ करते हो. मेरा पॉइंट किधर था, मुझे तुम लोग बड़बड़ करके किधर तक लेके गए यार, कसम से. चलो क्विकली क्विकली. Okay, fine, fine. See, so they have got, like, erythrocytes here, then few tubes here. They are not going to have any nucleus, right? Matured word is important. Then certain cells may have more than one nuclei. So accordingly, they may be binucleate as seen in paramecium. Paramecium has got two nuclei, meganucleus and minor nucleus. So two nuclei will be present. Polynucleate condition or multinucleate condition as seen in our striated muscles. So our muscle cells, striated muscle cells, na, they're going to have many nuclei. So that will be your multinucleate or polynucleated condition. The polynucleate cells of animals are called as syncytial cells, while that in case of plants, it is called as cenocytic cells or cenocytes. Okay, so they are going to have a lot of activity, beta. So to control their all functions, so many nuclei will be present in them. Okay, vascular plants. Okay, very good question, my dear. What do you mean by the word vascular plants? Those plants which have got xylem and phloem, that is water transporting tissue and food transporting tissue present in them. Those group of plants will be called as vascular plants. So there are some other group of plants which do not have xylem and phloem. So they will be coming under non-vascular. In case of animals, vascular means those who are going to have blood supply. Correct? Here, vascular means those who are going to have xylem and phloem. Erythrocytes are your red blood cells. RBCs को हम erythrocytes कहते हैं. Right? Okay. So understood this word, beta. Multinucleate animal cell will be called as syncytial cell, and multinucleate plant cell will be called as cenocytic cell, or the cells are called as cenocytes. These two words never to be forgotten. Never to be forgotten. Huh. So then how come vascular plants, how do they okay, okay. So non-vascular, how will they transport? So they have got some other methods of transportation. They'll be having root-like structures called as rhizomes present in them. So when I'll be doing plant kingdom with you all now, that time you will come to know what are the different structures by which the transport will be taking place, even if they don't have, xylem and phloem. So they have got some other tissues. Okay. Lobes in nucleus. The nucleus ka shape, beta. It can be, circular. It can be, like a dumbbell shape. So then we call it as two-lobed structure, S shape. So there are different types of shapes seen in WBCs of human beings, especially. So circulation chapter is going to have the detailed study about the shape and structure of every cell of ours also. So RBC also and WBC also, right? So those are the lobes. So nucleus gets, folded, or I would say they'll obtain a different shape, which is going to have, a lobe-like structure. Fine. So that's about the nucleus. Yeah, the shape of the nucleus may be spherical, cuboidal cells, ovoid or elongated cells as columnar cells, elliptical or discoidal cells as seen in squamous epithelial cells, bilobed or multilobed as seen in WBCs. It could be C-shaped as seen in Vorticella plant. In certain cells, the nucleus is irregular in shape. Now, these cuboidal epithelium, columnar epithelium, squamous epithelium. These all will be taught to you all in the chapter called as structural organization in animals. So in that, the entire, tissue has been explained. So that time you will come to know, but the shapes they are saying, the nucleus ka shape is spherical in cumodal cells. It is ovoid or elongated in columnar epithelial cells, like that. The size of the nucleus may also vary from 3 μm to 25 μm in diameter. The interphase nucleus, that is the nucleus which is not in a dividing state. Okay, so that is called as a interphase nucleus, has highly extended, and it is going to consist of nuclear envelope, nucleoplasm, nucleolus, and chromatin. Now, what do you mean by this? Whenever the cell will undergo cell division, right? That time it is going to get split into two parts. So that won't be the right time for us to study the contents of the nucleus. But before it is going to undergo cell division, when it is intact, that phase is called as interphase. So when we study the nucleus during the interphase, we will be very clearly seeing these structures, which are going to be called as what? See, nuclear envelope, nucleoplasm, nucleolus, and chromatin. ये चारों चीजें जो न्यूक्लियस के अंदर होती है वो हमें इंटरफेज वाले न्यूक्लियस में ही दिखाई देते हैं, डिवाइडिंग मतलब माइटोसिस या मियोसिस वाले फेज में दिखाई नहीं देते हैं. So again, this was a question that the nucleus can be observed only during dash phase of the cell cycle. So the answer is during the interphase of the cell cycle. Okay, got it? So any difficulty with this particular content till now? Anyone having any problem, beta? Yes, yes. Okay, till now. We'll go ahead. So what I'm going to go ahead with? Nothing. Nuclear envelope, nucleoplasm, nucleolus, and chromatin. Yeah, it can only be seen in interface. Correct. Yes, my dear. Yeah. So first is going to be what? Nuclear envelope. So electron microscopy has revealed that the nuclear envelope, which consists of two parallel nuclear membranes, perinuclear space, nuclear pores, annuli, central granule, and fibrous lamina. Oh my God. हमें तो लगा था चार ही चीजें पढ़नी है ना? हमें क्या लगा था? न्यूक्लियर एनवेलप पढ़ना है, उसके अंदर न्यूक्लियोप्लाज्म पढ़ना है, फिर क्या? न्यूक्लियोलस पढ़ना है और क्रोमैटिन पढ़ना है. ये क्या है यार, ये तो लंबी चौड़ी लिस्ट हो गई. इट्स ओके, इजी है ये, है ना? बहुत इजी है. देखो क्या है. So what is it going to be made up of? See, first they are talking about the nuclear membrane. So just like your mitochondria ka membrane, just like your chloroplast ke membrane, even nucleus is going to be having two membranes, outer membrane and inner membrane. Okay, ये दो nuclear membrane के बीच में there is going to be a space. This space will be called as perinuclear space. Simple, na? So nuclear membranes are two in number, outer nuclear membrane, inner nuclear membrane. In between the outer and inner, there is going to be a space which is going to be called as perinuclear space. Easy? Easy. Now what happens is, these two nuclear membranes are going to be, having pores in between, gaps in between. So it is not going to be entire. Okay? बीच बीच में ना उसके पोर्स होते हैं, वो पोर्स को हम कहते हैं न्यूक्लियर पोर्स. ठीक है? Okay, I'll show you the diagram, you will come to know. So see, nuclear envelope separates nuclear material from cytoplasm. It is concerned with nucleocytoplasmic exchange. So exchange between nucleus and exchange between the cell cytoplasm. That is going to be the nuclear membrane. बीच में आ गया तो ये साइटोप्लाज्म बाहर की तरफ है, अंदर की तरफ है न्यूक्लियोप्लाज्म. तो इन दोनों के बीच में जो ट्रांसपोर्ट कराना है, इट विल बी वाया दिस nuclear membrane. It provides surface for the attachment of endoplasmic reticulum and chromatin material, the outer membrane especially. Okay. It is concerned with the synthesis of certain proteins. Of course, nuclear membrane को जब ribosomes attach हो जाएंगे, so obviously it will be going to be associated with protein synthesis. The outer nuclear membrane gives off vesicles which fuse and eventually give rise to endoplasmic reticulum. So see, now dears, I had told you this in the beginning only, that endoplasmic reticulum is going to be an extension of the outer nuclear membrane, if you do recollect. So this outer nuclear membrane will give out vesicles and they will eventually develop into endoplasmic reticulum के cisternae, अगर आपको याद है तो. Correct? So that is where the nuclear membrane and the endoplasmic reticulum are connected to each other. Okay. So here you can see, I'll tell you what is annuli also, I'll tell you what is central granule also, and what is fibrous lamina. I'll tell you all of them. So see, this is how we are going to talk about. So this is going to be the outer membrane. You can see the diagram very clearly now. So see, you can see this. These are the two membranes. This one is going to be the outer membrane. This one is going to be the inner membrane. And the space in between will be called as perinuclear space. You can see this. This is the perinuclear space. Okay. You can see these are going to be your endoplasmic reticulum to which the ribosomes are going to be attached. Correct? So the nuclear membrane, the outer membrane usually remains continuous with the endoplasmic reticulum and also bears ribosome on it. So this is also the outer nuclear membrane which has actually formed the endoplasmic reticulum and it has got the ribosomes attached to it. Correct? Inner nuclear membrane is associated with fibrous lamina. Now what is this fibrous lamina? This entire light pink color का अंदर का structure दिख रहा है तुम्हें? ये पूरा अंदर का light pink color का structure, internal one, that is going to be called as fibrous lamina. So the inner membrane is going to be in continuation or association with the fibrous lamina attached to its inner surface. Perinuclear space is the space which is going to be present between the two nuclear membranes. So everywhere you can see a space in between. Correct? Got this? Up till here you all have understood what is it altogether? Huh? Now see, my dear. What are nuclear pores? So at a number of places, the nuclear envelope is interrupted by minute pores which are formed by the fusion of its two membranes. Look at this. Look at this. You can see a gap in between. This is a nuclear pore. This is a nuclear pore. What is the function of fibrous lamina? Support. It's going to give support to that entire nucleus assembly. Okay. There is only one nucleus. There is should be. I didn't get you. There is only one nucleolus. There is nucleolus can divide. I didn't get your question, but there's something mistake with. Just try to figure out what you want to say. Yeah, what is Nirisha? What are you saying? Lamina is liquid. It is gel-like. It is jelly-like. Okay, semi-solid, jelly-like. Yeah. They can have many nucleolus because more would be the rRNA formation, more would be the nucleolus. But here in normal cases, there is going to be a normal one single nucleolus. Okay. So you understood whether the pores, can you see the pores? Look at the gap between the pores. Here it's a very large area of the pore. And look at this, hardly anything. Okay. Yes. So, sorry. So the nuclear pores are going to be at different places and the nuclear envelope is interrupted by minute pores which are formed by the fusion of the two membranes. So you saw the outer membrane and inner membrane are fusing, right? And then there is going to be a gap in between. These nuclear pores are the passages through which movement of RNA and protein molecules takes place in both the directions, that is between the nucleus and the cytoplasm. So anything can come out, anything can go in, especially the RNA molecules through those pores. What is annuli? Annuli, the nuclear pores are enclosed by electron dense rings or cylinders called as annuli. So these annuli are like doors बेटा, gates के जैसे है. तो जैसे आपके घर पे अगर कोई आना चाहता है तो कैसे बेल बजा के अंदर आएगा तो आपको समझेगा someone is here. Then what do? You open the gate, you open the door, and then only that person can come inside now. Correct? Right? In the same way, these pores would be guarded by these electron dense rings or cylinders, which will be called as annuli. Okay, and they will decide that whether this particular thing who wants to go out shall be allowed to go out or not, shall the gate be opened or not, shall the door be closed or shall it be opened. That is going to be the function of the annuli. Okay. Electron dense, you don't know what are electrons? Protons, electrons, neutrons. So this area will be, you know, full with, loaded with dense rings of electrons. Okay, got it? The nuclear pore, together with the annulus, is known as pore complex. So the wall along with the door, okay, the wall along with the door. Same way, pore along with the annulus is going to be your pore complex. The annuli may function as a kind of a diaphragm gate. Diaphragm means a gate or a door. While pore complex works as a structure for selective permeability. सिलेक्ट करेंगे ना वो लोग कि इसको अंदर आने देना है, इसको बाहर जाने देना है, सिलेक्शन होगा. I've already discussed about the word called as selectively permeable in your earlier lectures. Correct? So this is how the annuli is going to function. Right? Now look at the next one, that is central granule. It is present in the pore complex, but it is not a constant feature. Huh. What is your doubt, my dear? Annuli should not allow mRNA carrying the genetic info to go outside. Arey, my dear, if it does not allow na, then protein synthesis won't take place. So it has to go out. It has to go out. Okay. Otherwise, our cells will not be in the position to make any new proteins. Okay. So now what is the central granule? Central granule is like a lock on the door. So it may be present, it may not be present. It is not a constant feature. So a central granule is going to be an added security on the gate. So on the annuli, there may be presence of a central granule, which is going to be, an extra security for anyone to move in or out. But it may be, like there, or it may not be there. And it is not going to be always seen also. So just like your lock, if you're going out somewhere, then only you will put that lock, na? Otherwise, why will you put the lock? Correct? So in the same way, the central granule may be present, may not be present. Got it? So now it's so simple. See, nuclear membranes दो है, outer and inner. Outer endoplasmic reticulum के साथ फ्यूज हो रहा है, इनर फाइब्रोस लैमिना के साथ एसोसिएट कर रहा है. ये दोनों मेम्ब्रेन्स के बीच में जो गैप है, दैट इज गोइंग टू बी योर पेरीन्यूक्लियर गैप. Correct? The fusion of these two nuclei will form pores. The pores will allow the transport from the cytoplasm to the nucleus and vice versa. But the pores would be guided or guarded by electron dense rings or cylinders called as the annuli, which will help in selectively permeability. किसको अंदर आने देना है, किसको नहीं अंदर आने देना है. And sometimes that annuli might even have a central granule for added security, so not anyone and everyone can go in and come out. Okay. Do we have? Yeah, we do have. We do have. Yes, Sarang, we do have that. Okay. So it is for protection. Yeah, protection in the sense ensuring that whatever goes out or whatever comes in is safe. Right? Fibrous lamina, Harris and James first described the presence of fibrous lamina on the inner surface of the inner membrane of Amoeba proteus. Amoeba proteus is a type of amoeba. Okay. It is composed mainly of acid proteins. Right? It represents honeycomb-like pattern. It represents honeycomb-like pattern. How does it look like? So this fibrous lamina, as I said, it's going to be a jelly-like thing, and when seen under the microscope, it looks like a honeycomb. Yeah, security. Huh. What is central granule? It's also protein. It's also protein, my dear. It's also made up of protein. So is it difficult? Is it difficult? Simple है ना? Nuclear membrane, perinuclear space, fibrous lamina, central pore, annuli and central granule. वो जब हमने पढ़ा था तो टेंशन आया था ना, ओ माय गॉड अभी ये भी सब कुछ पढ़ना पड़ेगा, लेकिन इजी तो है क्या कुछ डिफिकल्ट इसमें? सो सिंपल. करेक्ट? या. So that's all with your nuclear membrane का part. Now we come to the nucleoplasm, but this is simple. Nucleoplasm, nucleoli, ये बिल्कुल easy वाला part है बेटा. ये देखो, nucleoplasm. The term nucleoplasm was given by Strasburger. Okay. There are. When I'll talk about genetics, you will come to know about a fact which will actually, which will actually give you a very, like ऐसा shock लगता है यार ऐसे क्यों हो गया. I'll tell you that story also. You might be knowing it also about the genetics wala part, but when I'll teach you that na, I'll tell you a story, which is जिसमें women researchers की वजह से actually कितना अच्छा कुछ हो रहा था और फिर क्या हो गया. Okay. You want me to show the five that everything na beta यहाँ पर ये देखो this light pink color which is going to be present over here na in continuation or in association with this inner membrane of nucleus is going to be your fibrous lamina. This entire light pink color जो बाहर की तरफ है ना, ये whitish color की बात नहीं कर रही हूँ. सेंटर में आपको एक whitish color दिखाई दे रहा होगा. Not those. This pink, light pink up till this zone. Okay. But when here I can't show you the honeycomb pattern, na? It has to be the electron microscope which needs to be giving a real image of it. Here, if I make the honeycomb pattern, then it will be very difficult for you all to understand this diagram altogether. Okay? Yeah. It won't look like honeycomb in this picture. If you only, use electron microscopy to zoom this zone, na? This lighter pink color zone, then only you can see those. Okay? That dhaga also I'll tell you. That dhaga is going to be your chromatin material. I'll come to that. So see, nucleoplasm is transparent, semi-solid, granular, slightly acidophilic ground substance. It is also known as nuclear sap or karyolymph. Karyon का मतलब होता है nucleus, हाँ? Okay. It contains nucleolus, chromatin, protein, enzymes, and minerals. Who? Nucleoplasm. What is nucleoplasm? Cytoplasm of nucleus is nucleoplasm. Just because it is going to be present inside the nucleus, that cytoplasm has been renamed as nucleoplasm. Nothing else. Simple. Nucleoli, an Italian scientist named Felis Fontana discovered the nucleolus in eel cells in the year 1774. Please do not forget Fontana. They ask you because students get confused with who discovered nucleus and who discovered nucleolus. So nucleus was your Robert Brown and nucleolus is going to be your Felis Fontana. Okay. These are spherical structures present in the nucleoplasm. The content of nucleolus is continuous with the rest of the nucleoplasm as it is also not going to have any membrane surrounding it. So even that is not going to have any plasma membrane around it. So nucleus is also going to be, like amorphous. Yeah, but we have to study them, right? It is a site for active ribosomal RNA synthesis. So when we have done RNA, that time also we have seen this topic now. rRNA is going to be manufactured inside the nucleolus. So again in the nucleolus, the same thing is saying. Nucleolus is the site for active ribosomal RNA synthesis. ठीक है, तो न्यूक्लियस के अंदर है न्यूक्लियोलस. तो सेल के अंदर है न्यूक्लियस, न्यूक्लियस के अंदर है न्यूक्लियोलस. Nucleolus does not have any membrane over it. Please do not forget this point, my dears. Fine. Then they are saying that larger and more numerous nucleoli are present in the cells which are actively carrying out protein synthesis. तो जहां जहां ज्यादा rRNA की जरूरत है ना, वहां वहां न्यूक्लियोलाई का नंबर ज्यादा रहेगा. Otherwise, it's going to be one per cell. So example is see, oocytes, neurons, secretory cells, they are going to have many nucleoli. Huh. Which is the fifth and seventh point of this, my dear? So 1, 2, 3, 4. This one, nucleoli is the fifth point. Nucleoli was first discovered by Fontana. And which was the specimen in which this Fontana had seen nucleolus? It was the eel cells, the fish, the eel. Its cells were observed under the microscope, and that time Fontana discovered nucleolus. Okay. And seventh, that is what na? Like nucleolus is going to be in continuous with the rest of the nucleoplasm. That means the nucleoplasm and nucleolus के बीच में कोई भी membrane नहीं है बेटा. It is in continuity. Okay, that is, it's going to be merged, but it is just going to be aggregating like this way together. So there is no covering over it, no wrapping over it. Okay, got it? Well, then here we see that the cells with little or no synthetic activity like sperm cells, blastomeres, muscle cells, they contain smaller nuclei or they may not have any nucleoli at all. So blastomeres are the cells which are going to be formed after zygote formation. So in human beings also, after the zygote formation till the embryo formation takes place, the intermediate stage cells will be called as blastomeres. तो एक जाइगोट है ना, वो डिवाइड होगा दो सेल्स में, तो हम कहते हैं दिस इज टू सेल्ड ब्लास्टोमियर. Then two will get divided into further two, so four. So we'll say it is four-celled blastomeres. Okay, so in that way the human embryo formation takes place. It's going to be present in our muscle cells, or they then these cells are not going to be involved in much activity of protein, so there may not be any nucleolus, or if they are going to be like very small. Okay, most cells have a single nucleolus. However, such cells as liver cells and certain lymphocytes have two nucleoli. So please remember who is having no nucleoli, who are having two nucleoli. Okay. Nucleolus has four chief components: amorphous matrix, nucleolar associated chromatin, fibrils, and granules. These are the four things that will be present inside the nucleolus. So see over here, this is going to be the nucleolus. So ये जो पिंक कलर का अंदर का स्ट्रक्चर है ना न्यूक्लियस के अंदर का, that is nucleolus. Okay, and it is made up of four things: amorphous matrix, न्यूक्लियोलर एसोसिएटेड क्रोमैटिन, सो दैट धागे जैसे तुम्हें दिख रहा था ना एक थ्रेड के जैसे पिंक कलर का जो जा रहा था, दैट इज योर क्रोमैटिन. Then it will have fibrils for its own support, and it will have granules, protein granules in it. हाँ, is aerobic and anaerobic help in all these processes? हाँ, they will. Okay, so this is going to be the nucleolus का structure. Understood till here? Is there any difficulty in understanding this? Yes, good. And lastly, that thread-like structure, what you were seeing, what is it? It is the chromatin material. So now today we'll come to know many important facts of this. The interphase nucleus has a loose and distinct network of nucleoprotein fibers called as chromatin. Okay, so here you can see this. ये वाला part आपको दिख रहा है? This is called as chromatin. Only this portion, huh? Only this portion is called as chromatin. Chromatin contains DNA and some basic proteins called as histones. It also has some non-histones protein and it also is going to have RNA. So देखो बेटा, ये जो thin wire आपको दिखाई दे रही है ना, जिसको मैं chromatin बोल रही हूँ, उसको अगर मैंने zoom किया ना, zoom बड़ा किया ना, तो what I will see, I'll see this particular structure. So what is this structure? This structure is going to have what all things? So this structure is going to have these histone proteins, plus it is going to have some non-histone proteins, plus it is going to have some RNA. So ये DNA है अपना, you can see this DNA. DNA is going to be wound around these histone proteins and non-histone proteins to form this particular structure. This will coil, recoil, and form this particular structure, which is going to be called as the chromatin, which will further coil to form your chromosome. Yeah, histones help in binding. Yes, my dear. Very good, Vaishnavi. Right, beta. Okay. So if you look at your chromosome, what is a chromosome? Chromosome is nothing, but it is made up of chromatin. What is chromatin? Chromatin is an aggregation of what all things? Histone protein, non-histone protein, DNA, and RNA. Got this? हाँ, octamer. Yes, yes. Dhruv, very good. Very good, beta. Very nice, beta. So ये जो histones होते हैं ना, they are 8 in numbers. So which are the different 8? How are they going to form these structure? Everything will be there in our chapter called as molecular genetics. That time we'll come to know. Right? Yeah. So these ये आपको grapes के balls दिख रहे हैं, aggregations. These are called as histone octamers. 8 होते हैं total. इसको octamer कहा जाता है. And on that octamer, the DNA will start coiling to form something called as chromatin. Okay. When stained with fusion stain, it attains deep coloration. So my dears, to stain the chromosome, which stain is going to be used, which dye is going to be used, is a common question asked in your examination, not given in your books and regularly asked. What is the name of the stain? Fulgen stain, or it's called as Fulgen dye. तो फ्यूजन डाई किसके लिए स्टेनिंग के लिए यूज होता है? क्रोमोसोम्स के स्टेनिंग के लिए यूज होता है या क्रोमैटिन के स्टेनिंग के लिए यूज होता है? हैव यू ऑल अंडरस्टूड दिस क्रोमैटिन मटेरियल वाला पार्ट वेरी क्लियरली? Any point you have not understood or you want me to repeat? Clear? Good. Okay. Then two types of chromatin materials have been observed or have been recognized. First is heterochromatin, another is euchromatin. What is hetero and what is eu? Understand this also. The darkly stained condensed region of chromatin is called as heterochromatin. So here this region, can you see this? It is compactly packed ना, एकदम ऐसे compaction, गर्दी है यहाँ पर, बहुत crowding हुआ है, तो ये crowded region को हम कहते हैं heterochromatin. और ये देखो यहाँ पर कैसे distance पे है, they are at an proper distance, loosely bound. Okay, so ये जो loosely bound होता है ना, it is called as euchromatin. अब इतनी क्राउड है यहाँ पर कि इनको हाथ हिलाने के लिए भी जगह नहीं है, इसलिए ये क्या हो जाते हैं? दे आर इनर्ट, इनएक्टिव. हाथ हिलाने के लिए जगह नहीं का मतलब क्या होता है माय डियर? दैट मीन्स there is no scope for any activity to take place in this zone. So we say heterochromatin is metabolically and genetically inert, inactive, because it contains comparatively small amount of DNA and large amount of RNA. तो यहाँ पर है ना, DNA का distance देखो कितना कम है. You can see hardly any DNA is present over here. But here you can see how long the DNA is going to be. Right? Got it? So this area में genetically inactive, यहाँ पर कुछ भी खास होने वाला नहीं है. ठीक है? On the other hand, look at the euchromatin. The light stained and diffuse region of chromatin is called as euchromatin. It contains comparatively larger amount of DNA. Larger amount of DNA is this DNA, which can be seen very clearly between the two octamers. Okay. The region is genetically active. Chromatin is made up of small repeating units of nucleosomes. This is called as a nucleosome. So what is a nucleosome? I'll tell you. I'll repeat everything. Please pay attention. There is something called as histone protein. So ये histone protein है. It's an octamer, means it's made up of 8 histone proteins. So 8 histone proteins will aggregate. उसके ऊपर DNA coil हो जाएगा बेटा. तो DNA plus histone protein is going to be called as nucleosome. DNA plus histone protein is going to be called as nucleosome. Several such nucleosomes will be present to form your euchromatin and heterochromatin. And euchromatin and heterochromatin eventually are going to make up your chromosomes only. Is it fine? Have you all understood this particular part very nicely? Anyone who has not followed this, please let me know. कोई भी point नहीं समझा हो तो please बताओ. बताओ. Anyone? Hetero मतलब different. Yes, because it is going to have more of RNA and little of DNA. Therefore, it is hetero. Yes. Nucleosome, I said na beta. Nucleosome is going to be DNA plus histone is going to be your nucleosome. Okay. Last point, heterochromatin, you got disconnected. Don't worry beta. Heterochromatin, euchromatin is nothing. I'll tell you one more time. Huh. Nucleosome and hetero. No. That is a different thing. Heterochromatin है बेटा, heterosome नहीं है, heterochromatin. Okay, I'll give a quick recap about this. Okay, pay attention. See, yeah, pay attention, my dear. I'll just give a recap about this. Okay, what you can do is, चलो, I'll give you a very simple example. चलो ये सब छोड़ दो, ये सब बातें छोड़ दो, मैं आपको एकदम easy way में बताती हूँ. हाँ, what we can do is, I'll give you 2.2 meters of silver thread. कौन सा थ्रेड देती हूँ मैं आपको? विच थ्रेड आई गिव यू? 2.2 meters of silver thread. Okay, now I'll tell you that cut this thread. Look at this, please pay attention. Again, I'm saying, if you understand this today na, your 60 marks of genetics will be in your pockets. आपके 60 मार्क्स जेनेटिक्स के 60 मार्क्स के क्वेश्चंस आते हैं बेटा. आपको पूरे के पूरे 60 मार्क्स अगर चाहिए तो जो मैं आज बता रही हूँ उधर ध्यान दे देना, नहीं तो फिर 60 मार्क्स के ऊपर पानी छोड़ देना. तो 360 में से 60 मार्क्स चाहिए तुम्हें तो सुन लो मैं जो बोल रही हूँ, ये रिपीट है, 12th में यही वापस है. तो प्लीज पे अटेंशन वेरी नाइसली. ओके, चलो कम ऑन, सबका गुड मॉर्निंग होने दो. कम बैक टू योर सेंसेस, हाँ, and try to focus on whatever I'm saying. I'm saying that I'm going to give you 2.2 meters of silver thread. 2.2 मैं specify कर रही हूँ यहाँ पर. Okay, then I tell you that cut this thread into 23 pieces, but it should be in pairs. It should be in pairs. Length आपकी मर्जी. मतलब फॉर एग्जाम्पल ये एक थ्रेड है, ये अगर ये मेरी वायर है, ऑफकोर्स ये एक थ्रेड है, तो इमेजिन कर लो कि ये 2.2 मीटर्स का है. तो मैंने क्या बोला आपको कि मुझे 23 पेयर्स में चाहिए. तो व्हाट आई विल डू, मैं ऐसे इसको फोल्ड करूंगी इनटू 2, करेक्ट, एंड देन आई विल स्टार्ट कटिंग इट. So what will I get? I'll get one pair of each. हाँ, कोई छोटे पीसेस बनेंगे, कोई बड़े बनेंगे, कोई मीडियम बनेंगे, तो साइज का कोई प्रॉब्लम है नहीं. It could be of any size. So how many pairs of pieces you will get? 23 pairs के pieces मिले तुम्हें. चलो fine. Now what I say is take those DNA pieces, and coil it around क्या कहते हैं वो जो एक बॉल आता है ना, या मार्बल पे. ओके, आपको मैंने 8 मार्बल दिए हैं. कितने मार्बल दिए? 8 मार्बल्स दिए हैं. उसका एक मैंने आपको एक छोटा बॉल बना के दिया. ऐसे मैंने आपको है ना 100 बॉल्स दिए हैं. आई हैव गिवन यू 100 balls like that way, each of 8 marbles. So I have joined 8 marbles together, one ball, 8 marbles together, second ball, 8 marbles together, third ball. Like that way I have given you 100 balls. And what I say, now wind your piece of DNA on this marble ball in such a way that it has to complete 1 round and 3/4 round. 1 and 3/4 मतलब कैसा? ये देखो, ये अगर आप एक बार चलाते हो ये एक और ये 3/4, ये वापस इसके ऊपर नहीं आना चाहिए, ये आगे जाना चाहिए. अब क्या हो गया बेटा, ये 1 and 3/4 हुआ है मेरे. I've tied this 1 and 3/4 on my finger, correct? Now what will happen? There is still more thread remaining with me. Then I will take another ball. I will wind it how much? 1 and 3/4. अभी भी और भी है मेरे पास. You understood? So what am I going to do? I'm going to wind 1 and 3/4, 1 and 3/4, 1 and 3/4 on those marble के balls, right? Now what will happen eventually? जितने मेरे पीस बड़े हैं उतने मुझे मार्बल बॉल्स ज्यादा लगेंगे कि कम लगेंगे बेटा? टेल मी, what would be my requirement? More marble balls or less marble balls? Very good, exactly, more marble balls. जितने मेरा पीस छोटा है उतने मुझे कम चाहिए मार्बल बॉल्स. Agreed? Now this particular silver thread plus the marble ball, silver thread plus the marble ball. Suppose in that particular thread I have accommodated say 10 marble balls. Okay, so I would say this particular piece is having 10 nucleosomes. Did you understand what is a nucleosome now? So DNA plus histone. Okay, got it? Then it is going to be like वो जो लंबा thread था उसकी size अभी reduce हो गई कि नहीं, उसको tie किया हमने तो it got condensed ना. Then what do? I condense it further. By what? Coiling and recoiling. Okay, so that coiling and recoiling, that coiling will make this particular structure of euchromatin, and उसका recoiling will make a structure called as heterochromatin. So euchromatin का जो DNA है ना वो loosely packed है, वो थ्रेड मुझे दिखाई दे रहा है, बट हेटेरोक्रोमैटिन का थ्रेड मुझे दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है. ठीक है, जैसे हम लोग गार्लैंड बनाते हैं ना, गार्लैंड, तो कोई कोई गार्लैंड के बीच में थ्रेड दिखता है और कोई कोई गार्लैंड के ऊपर मतलब जो फ्लावर्स होते हैं वो इतने स्टफ होते हैं, क्लोज होते हैं, यू कैन नॉट सी द थ्रेड इन बिटवीन, समथिंग लाइक दैट. So euchromatin is compactly arranged DNA, RNA and histones, but वो compact रखने के लिए है ना उधर बहुत ज़्यादा RNA बीच में आ जाएगा. Therefore it is called as hetero, more of RNA. And U is true chromatin. मतलब यहाँ पर ये दोनों के बीच में RNA नहीं है. There is no RNA present in between them. They are apart. Okay, and therefore they are going to be the true DNA. This is going to be DNA plus RNA, while this is going to be true DNA. Can you all understand this? Got this very clearly? So this is going to be your active one. This is going to be your inactive one. So active and inactive. Inactive, heterochromatin. Active, euchromatin. Now what is it active? क्या करता है? Active है मतलब क्या है? नाचता है? नहीं रे बेटा, नाचता नहीं है. वो क्या करता है? वो मैं आपको ना मॉलिक्यूलर जेनेटिक्स में पढ़ाऊंगी कि वो आगे क्या करेगा. एक्टिव है मतलब व्हाट इज इट गोइंग टू बी. आई डेफिनेटली टॉक अबाउट इट. ओके, व्हाट इज आरएनए डूइंग इन न्यूक्लियोसोम? हेल्पिंग इन बाइंडिंग, कीपिंग द assembly strong and together, right? Yeah, recoiled and super recoiled. So now there is no space. उनको compact करा दिया है बिल्कुल, right? Okay. A single human cell approximately 2 meters long, that is 2.2 meters long thread of DNA distributed among its 46 chromosomes, that is 23 pairs, which I said just now. Every chromosome essentially has a primary constriction or a centromere. On the sides of it, there is going to be the presence of a C-shaped disc structures. ऐसे C-shaped के या disc shaped के structures होते हैं, which are going to be called as kinetochores. Based on the position of the centromere, the chromosomes have been classified into 4 different types. First, I will show you what is a kinetochore. So here, on the sides, there is going to be a disc-shaped structure on the primary constriction. So these are called as the primary constrictions. ये जो yellow गोले दिख रहे हैं ना, these are called as the primary constrictions. Okay, and on them there is going to be a layer of kinetochore. So kinetochores are disc-shaped structures present over here. They are C-shaped. तो इनके आजू बाजू में ऐसे C-shaped structures होते हैं, which are kinetochores. What is the use of the kinetochores? Kinetochores will act as a platform for attachment of the spindle fibers during cell division. So when the cell is going to divide, it is also going to divide this chromosome into 2 pieces. तो इसको बीच में से कट कराने का होता है, तो इधर है ना, इधर स्पिंडल फाइबर्स अटैच हो जाते हैं, so that they can pull the centromeres apart. So what is a centromere, beta? These are centromeres. You can see these are the centromeres. Centromeres means they are going to be the constriction, primary constriction in every chromosome. It is going to be there in every chromosome. Okay, so depending on the position, we have got 4: metacentric, submetacentric, acrocentric, and telocentric. So metacentric is the one which will have centromere at the center. Submeta will be more towards the one of the ends. Acro will be still further near the end, and telomere is going to be at the end. So accordingly, the names have been given. Okay, so look at this. The metacentric chromosome has middle centromere forming 2 equal arms of the chromosomes. Submetacentric chromosome has centromere near to one of the ends of the chromosome, leading to one long arm and then one short arm. Acrocentric chromosome, the centromere is situated close to it and forming only very extremely long and very extremely short type of arm. Telocentric is going to be at the terminal end, so there won't be any, 2 points C. Sometimes a few chromosomes have a non-staining secondary constriction at a constant location. This gives the appearance of a small fragment called as satellite. So sometimes what happens now, here, I'll show you how it is. I'll draw it for you and I'll show you. Sometimes now, just like this primary constriction, there could be a secondary constriction like this. Look at this, I'm drawing over here. So if there is going to be this secondary constriction ना, it will be called as a satellite. Okay, तो इसको ऐसे अगर नीचे एक्स्ट्रा ये एक प्राइमरी कंस्ट्रक्शन है ही, उसके अलावा और एक अगर कंस्ट्रक्शन आता है ना, then it will be called as satellites. Fine, and your kinetochores are going to be present like this way. ये जो मैं रेड पेन से भी करा रही हूँ ना, these are going to be the kinetochores over your centromeres. So they are going to be C-shaped structures present like this. Okay, so these are your centromeres and these are going to be your kinetochores. Have you all followed this or not? Is there any difficulty in understanding any part of this? Clear about this? Okay, okay, beta, fine. If it is clear, then that's good. So that's all that we had to study about this particular chapter. Primary constriction is this. The first constriction which is going to be present in every chromosome is the primary constriction, which is called as centromere. Okay, so this is going to be your centromere. This is a secondary constriction over here, which is going to be called as your satellite. Fine. So done with the chapter, of course, but as I had promised, I'll quickly go ahead with the content. This was our starting of the chapter, that who discovered what, right? What were the microscope, the types of microscopes that we have done: simple microscope, compound microscope, electron microscope. Types of cells, these were the facts that I told you that you need to remember. Cell theory, Shieldon and Shawn, right? Shieldon, botanist; Shawn, zoologist. Yeah, beta. I'm just quickly going through it. If there is any doubt with any of the slides or any of the content, you can stop me anytime and ask me. So these are the postulates of the modern cell theory, which was modified by Rudolf Virchow. A fully condensed chromosome consists. No. No, it's not like that. It's not like that. It will have both. It will have both. Well, then an overview of the cell, we have seen that where is the altogether, what are the different structures which are associated with the cell. We saw the prokaryotic cell, we saw the ribosomes, then the size and shapes again of the animal cell only. Totipotency, we discussed about the stem cells in totipotency. Types of cells were prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Prokaryotic were your simple bacterial cells. Yeah, I'm coming to that, my dear. I'm coming to that. Cell envelope, glycocalyx, cell wall and plasma membrane. This was the structure we discussed. Glycocalyx polysaccharides से बना हुआ है. It is not a compulsory layer. It may be present. If it is tightly bound, it's called as a capsule. If it is loosely bound, it will be called as a slime layer. Cell wall, we have seen cell wall of bacteria made up of peptidoglycans. Plasma membrane is going to be your lipid bilayer, as we know. It's going to be having mesosomes. It's formed of vesicles, tubules, lamellae. Cyanobacteria, eubacteria, both will be having the plasma membrane. Appendages, we saw this flagella, then we saw pili, and then we saw fimbriae. All the functions were different. Ribosomes 30 plus 50 is equal to 70. Polysomes or polyribosomes are also going to be seen in prokaryotic cells. S stands for Swedberg constant, sedimentation coefficient. Inclusion bodies, anything that needs to be stored, anything that is excess and needs to be stored is inclusion bodies, which are three, which we have seen about. Eukaryotic cells we have talked about the plant cell and the animal cell. Plant cells cell wall, we have done in detail about the structure of the cell wall, cellulose, how many chains, what are going to be your elementary fibrils or micelles, everything in detail. Formation of the middle lamella, primary cell wall, composition of primary cell wall, composition of the secondary cell wall, how is the structure, How is the crisscross bridges that have been formed, cross-linking of glycans. Then what is S1, S2, S3? Simple pits क्या होते हैं? Torus क्या होता है? Intercellular spaces. One is by destruction, other is by separation, and the third is by both. Cell membrane, plasma membrane, fluid mosaic model put forward by Singer and Nicholson. We know now what is fluidity. I showed you all a video also based on that. Yeah, so this was the structure. I told you what is passive transport, active transport, osmosis, everything we have done in detail. Endomembrane system, ER, Golgi, lysosome vacuoles. Here I have told you that this is the nuclear membrane and it is going to be the continuation of it. Okay. Autophagic lysosomes are basically going to be involved in clearing the dead and decayed cells of our own cells, okay, of our own body. Then, yeah, the three types, cisternae, vesicle, tubules. Difference between both of them, functions of both of them, what is the main role of them, Golgi's, their structure, cis-phase, trans-phase, and we also know it's called as Dalton complex now. It's going to be helping in modification of whatever it has come towards itself. Again, cisternae, vesicles, vacuoles, tubules, their functions, lysosomes. Now you know it is not only suicidal bags, it is much more than that. So you know these primary lysosome, secondary lysosome, residual body, autophagic lysosomes, and the diagram that is associated with it. Then we saw what are vacuoles, mitochondria. In detail, we have done the structure of it, functions, plastids, three types we saw, and in that leucoplastids again, three types we saw, right? Then we saw ribosomes, which were your Pallade particles. I showed you this diagram so that it became very simple for you all to now understand this. Then we saw sperosomes, only present in plants, half unit membrane structures. Microbodies were peroxisomes and glyoxysomes, which we did in the last class. Peroxisome में दो enzymes होते हैं, peroxidase and catalase, right? Glyoxysomes, they'll be present in the germinating seeds. Cytoskeleton में microtubule, microfilament, intermediate fibers. This is what I was asking you. 13 protofilaments से बनता है एक microtubule, right? Then microfilaments and their functions, intermediate filaments and their functions, cilia and flagella, 9+2 arrangement, centrosome made up of centriole, 9+0 arrangement, triplet है, उधर doublet था, nucleus made up of nuclear envelope, which is going to have nuclear membrane, perinuclear space. So you want to know the fibrous lamina region. This is the region which is going to be coming just below the inner membrane. The area which is going to lie just below the inner membrane is what we call as the fibrous lamina. These thread-like things are going to be your chromatin material. Okay, you can see the chromatin material. And here यहाँ grey color का एक thread दिख रहा है तुम्हें? ये grey color का thread इधर है. That is going to be your mRNA. Okay. Then nuclear pores, transport के लिए annuli for selective permeability, central granule like a lock on the gate if required, otherwise it won't be present. Nucleoplasm is the the cytoplasm of nucleus. Nucleoli are RNA formation. Where will they be more in numbers, two in numbers, no nucleoli in numbers? Okay. Not necessary, generally one at a time. Generally one at a time. Yes, beta. Chromatin material is your DNA plus histone proteins, which is going to be called as your nucleosome. Plus it's going to have RNA for binding together. Plus it's going to have non-histone proteins for the assembly. So that is all with your chromatin material. Fuel stain is going to be used for staining the chromatin material. Two types of chromatin, euchromatin and heterochromatin. Right? Euchromatin is active, heterochromatin is inactive. Then on the chromosomes, you have got primary constriction, which is going to have kinetochores present on them. which will be helping in cell division. Correct? If there is going to be a secondary construction, it will be called as a satellite, which is going to be seen as a secondary construction. So we have got metacentric, submetacentric, acrocentric, and telocentric, 4 different types of chromosomes. Okay, so we have completed one of the big chapters of our 11th standard. It is one of the big chapters. Okay. In plants, there's only one big vacuole is present, which contains pigments, nutrients, food. There's going to be generally one large pigment, which is going to be called as the sap vacuole, and it will have all these things. It will have all these things. But they may have small vacuoles also. But one large vacuole in plants is hota hai, right? Yeah. So my dears, we have completed the basic of our bio today. अभी आगे जो भी हम पढ़ेंगे ना वो तुम्हें इतना इजी लगेगा because everything is ultimately going to come on this chapter only. Whatever bio you're going to study for the next 2 years now, everything is going to be based on this chapter. So once you have gone very precisely, perfectly with this chapter, your next chapters are going to be very simple and very easy. Okay, fine. Sure. Thank you so much. And yeah, next chapter in the next class we'll be going ahead with the next chapter. That is going to be biological classification, which is going to make the prokaryotic cell very simple to understand. So next chapter I'm starting with biological classification. That will be in the next one. And don't worry, it is not a very long chapter. Okay? Chalo. Bye, beta. See you all. Have a nice weekend. Enjoy yourself and take care. Bye bye.